Okay. All right. So, I want to tell you about what happened to me yesterday morning while I was working.
Okay. What happened?
So, yesterday morning while I was working, I got to my last writer of the night, morning, whatever. And we're just talking. We're talking about music and stuff like that. He barely speaks any English. He's this Hispanic guy that I'd picked up. He's very drunk. Um, and as I get him to his house, he goes, "What do you think about the gays?" And
Oh,
I was I was like, "Well, I mean, it's not my thing. I don't have a problem with them. I don't have any kind of thing anything against them. It's not my thing." And he goes, "Well, if you want, I could suck your dick."
no.
I was like, "Get out."
Oh,
I said,
no.
"No, man. I just told you it's not my thing. Um, you go ahead and get it." He goes, "It's okay. It's okay. It's okay." I was like, "Yeah, it's okay for you to get out of my car now." I mean, we had already pulled up to where he was, where he lived or whatever. And so I was just like, just, just stop.
That's bad.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's not the first time that, as an Uber driver, I've been propositioned by a guy. So
Right?
I, I, I just have to wonder: do I put off this gay vibe? Do I give off gay energy?
I mean,
Um,
you and Nesto, man,
yeah, I know.
have. You guys got that in common.
I just it's either that or all the gay guys that I meet are just super just you know what? I don't care. I just want to get with whatever. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So anyway, that was my interesting story for the week. Um, I think that'll last me for a month, actually.
Oh, boy.
So how was your week?
My week was good because it is. It was the final full week of school before winter break. And so it was filled with gift giving and Secret Santa stuff. And it was just fun.
Yeah.
Now, now the kids are crazy people.
Well, of course.
Like, every time before break, the week before break, it's always the craziest. Crazy shit happens. Like yesterday, I don't know what it was, but one of my teacher friends was absent yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and there were at least 3 kids who fell right outside her door, or in her, like right in her door to her classroom. And one of them was, I didn't see it happen, but one of them was a girl, and I just heard a big old bang, and I turned and I saw a girl face down on the floor, right? And I was like, what in the hell? Because she was just laying there. And everybody had looked that way. And there was one kid who was walking calmly towards his other class, towards a different classroom right next door to me. And I didn't think anything of it because he was walking very, like nothing had happened. And there were teachers around in the hallway who had saw what had happened, and they're like, "Hey, get that guy! Do you know that guy? Does anybody know this kid?" And they're all pointing at the kid walking calmly away. And I was like, "This kid? That kid had pushed a girl hard enough for her to fall, to, to slam her on the floor, I guess."
Jeez.
Yeah, and it was a dude and a girl, and the dude was walking calmly away. I was like, "What the fuck?" I didn't say that. I was like, "What in the world?"
Yeah, he was just like, "Oh, wasn't me." but
Yeah,
turns out it was him.
it was him. He was slick with it. Like I would have never guessed. But yeah,
Jeez.
my other teacher friend had pulled him out, and she was like, "Do you think that was an appropriate response?" Because apparently she had hit him, and he was like, "Nobody needs to put their hands on me, miss." And she's like, "I understand. Did you mean to drop her on the floor like that?" And I was like, "I get it, but damn." And then there was another kid later on that day, the same yesterday, still. It was like a different classroom, a whole different situation, and they had I don't know if they were pushed or if they were playing or what, but he fell right into the doorway, and it was another big bang to hear like him falling on the floor, and there
Yeah.
were people laughing around him that time, and I was like, well, god dang, that's another one. And then there was another one. It didn't happen in her classroom doorway, but it was right outside her doorway. A kid I guess he was running, and he fell right in front of her door. I was like, what the
Jeez.
fuck is going on? Are there bananas over there?
She, nah, she put a spell on it.
I
She
guess.
like a booby trap in that little space right there.
Yeah, man. She's not gonna get a good sub note. I feel bad because I heard all kinds of things
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff happening in there. Yeah.
I can only imagine.
And my kids, uh, earlier this week, at least my fifth period, I think I scared them into submission
Uh-oh.
because because two of my kids, okay, this is at the very beginning class. The bell had just rung for class to start, and I started turning in to my classroom because we're supposed to be at our doorways during passing periods to greet the students as they come in. It's a policy. Anyway, so I turned in to go into my classroom and I hear two of my students arguing back and forth, and they just started getting louder and louder. They were both sitting down, so it wasn't a huge deal. But the entire rest of the class was quiet. This is my chill class, except for a handful of kids, and those two kids were arguing. And
Yeah.
then so they started going back and forth with profanities, Dustin. Profanities.
Uh-oh.
They're like,
Uh-oh.
shut the fuck up talking to me. And they started going back and forth like that. And I started saying, guys, guys. And they started calling their names, telling them to come outside so we can talk this out. And they weren't listening. So I walked calmly to my desk. And as I started getting closer to my desk, then they calmed down because they knew that I was going to be calling an AP. And as soon as they were quiet, I was like, y'all want to step outside with me? No? No? Okay. So then I called an AP. And then I said, I need an AP to come get these two kids. And I think that scared the rest of my kids because they did not say a word for the rest of the day, and it was the longest. It was the longest period of the day. Like you can hear a pin drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was trying not to fall asleep in that class. I was chilling, but I think they were scared of me. I thought it was funny.
So Wednesday's the last day for this half of the year?
Nope. Next Tuesday is the last day.
Tuesday. Oh, okay.
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
Tuesday,
oh.
isn't it?
And guess what I
Yeah.
caught myself saying? Because we have 8 periods, and we go to first, second, and third period on Monday, fourth, fifth, and sixth on Tuesday, and we went to seventh and eighth for the last time yesterday on Friday. So I'm not gonna see my seventh and eighth period next week, but I will see 4, 5, 6. I will see my fourth period, my fifth period, my sixth period on Tuesday, and I ended up saying, and I ended up saying, "See you next Tuesday."
Really?
I ended up yelling it as the bell rang, and I was thinking to myself, "Oh shit, maybe I shouldn't say that."
Well, I mean, as long as they don't put it together, because they may not think about it.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm not sure I've ever said that in class.
I mean, you had to have said it at some point.
I don't know. I don't know.
I didn't have a very eventful week, but I was happy to have D&D this past weekend, though. That was nice.
Yeah, it was nice. But damn, did I feel underprepared.
So, how's the choose your own adventure or roll for whatever been going in class?
We continued it on Monday and Tuesday, but then the rest of the days were devoted to testing. Actually, it was Monday, and then we had a test Tuesday, and Wednesday we had to do. Oh, I let them have a makeup day, and Thursday was review day, and then Friday they started final exams. So it was all
Oh,
testing stuff, unfortunately. So we'll have to pick it up after
boo,
winter break. Yeah,
boo.
I know.
All right, well, you ready to get into it?
Yep.
All right, hit 'em with the intro, Tasha.
Welcome to What Am Dreams. I'm one of your hosts, Tasha, and I'm here with,
Dustin.
and we're here to talk to you about dreams. Dreams, dreams, dreams. Sha.
All them dreams. All right, so I know that you had some more dreams this past week, and you still had some left over from the uh, last recording. But I want
I
because I didn't
did.
have very many. I wanted to start off with one of mine, and it was the longest one I had, um, and it's still not even that long. So I had a dream that my dad and I were a photography team or something, and
Okay.
we had this assignment that we were going to be shooting in the Philippines.
Oh.
I don't know why it was the Philippines, but it was. I've never been. I don't know anything about the
I,
Philippines. But we were on a small plane. We were discussing ways to make more money, and we were jokingly saying we should smuggle weed in and out of the country. But the pilot was saying that when you smuggle into this one country, and he was talking about a different country than the one we were going to, but he said if you smuggle into this country, even just a joint could get you a sentence like 250 years in prison, you
oh
know,
shit.
whereas outrageous. I don't remember which country he was saying, but whatever. Anyway, um, the flip side of that, though, is that just selling an ounce, you could make $1 million. It was really
Oh,
expensive there to sell it because
nice.
it's so rare. Anyway,
Yeah.
we started laughing and we decided it wasn't worth the risk. So we landed and we started taking our photos in the Philippines. And we were taking photos of all the people and stuff that were around. And we had them printed out and we had them laid on these blankets. But
Yeah.
for some reason, we weren't in a room or anything. We were outside and we were in a kind of a shaded area, but it was all on dirt. But we had these blankets laid out so that we could lay the photos on them. I don't
Interesting.
I don't know. Yeah, it was trees and stuff. Um. Anyway, so I at one point handed him a stack of my photos, and I was like, I think these are really bad, but here you look through them and see what you can salvage. But he really liked all of them, and the more that we started looking at them, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I really like that one too. And I like that one too. and they were just random people on the street and everything. But that was when I woke
Yeah.
up, is while we were looking at the photos. Yeah.
So pleasant dream.
Yeah, but it was like it was a super normal dream too. I mean, not normal as in I go to the Philippines every week, but like nothing outrageous happened.
Yeah.
So
That's nice.
yeah,
That's pretty cool.
and I got to work with my pop,
Mm-hmm. Taking candid photos.
taking just super awesome photos that were blurry.
So you could see them then, huh?
No, yeah, I could see the photos. They weren't actually that blurry. I mean, they were a little bit out of focus compared to what I thought they should have been, but
Yeah.
they were good photos.
Nice.
Yeah. And now it makes me want to go to the Philippines and take photos.
Yeah, man. I'm sure they have some beautiful areas.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's the goal one day is to go to Asia.
Well,
Mm.
in general, I like to travel taking photos everywhere I go, but
Mm-hmm.
alas, currently not to be. Anyway, what's a dream you've had?
Okay. I don't know which one do I want to start with. I think I want to start with one that I had most recently. More recently, anyway.
Okay.
The one I just texted you about last night.
The one
Because
about
it's fresh in,
Nesto?
yeah, it's fresh in my mind and it's hilarious.
All right.
But also trippy. Okay. So I dreamt that I was just chilling in my bedroom with Ernesto. Ernesto was laying down and I was standing slash leaning against the bed just chatting with him.
Mhm.
And it was it was the middle of the night. I don't know why I remember the time, but I remember it was 3 something in the morning. And it was just a regular chat. And I told him, you know what I was thinking? And he was like, what were you thinking? And I said, I was thinking that we've been through a lot together. And he laughs and he says, get out of my brain. I was thinking the same thing. And then so we both started laughing. And all of a sudden, there was a knock on the bedroom door.
Okay.
And we're like, what the fuck? Who could be up this late at night? Who in the world is up? And we were thinking it might be one of the kids. So I
Yeah.
got up to open the door and I didn't, bother to face the door. I just opened it, turned around, and started walking back to the bed because I figured it'd be one of the kids. And so when I got back to the bed, nobody had come in, so we both looked up at the door, and there was a silhouette of just a big guy, a tall guy, in our
Hmm.
door, right?
Okay.
And we were like, "Who the fuck is that?" And we looked at each other. Me and Nesta looked at each other, and then I looked at the guy's door, and as he started coming in, it was Nesto. And I was like, "What the fuck?" In my dream, I was very alarmed and freaking out like it was real life because it felt real. And and so I looked at Nesto on the bed, and then I looked at Nesto at the door, and I got up. I was standing up in shock, and I
Mhm.
was like, "What in the fuck is happening right now?" And Ernesto on the bed, he started laughing, and he's like, "You're dreaming again, aren't you?" And I said,
Oh, okay.
"What?" And then I started laughing because I realized, oh damn, I am dreaming. Maybe if I just wake up. And then it repeated itself. So I was leaning against the bed again, and I look up at the door, and Nesta's in the bed, and I looked up at the door, and Nesta's walking through the door again, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm dreaming again. What the fuck is happening? I started getting up and freaking out, and I was falling all over the place in a state of panic, and I started panicking in my dream because I was like, this is just a dream. This is just a dream. I just need to wake up, okay? It was one of those kinds of dreams.
Oh yeah.
Like, wake the fuck up. And I didn't wake up. I did not wake up until Ernesto had he moved his foot up against me or something. I woke up. And as I woke up, I was hyperventilating and I had to calm down. I
So
was like, good
that must have been
Lord.
when you texted me, is after you had woke up and calmed down a little
Yeah, man.
bit.
I woke up, all my adrenaline was going. I felt out of breath. I was like, God damn. That was
You were
fucking wild.
you probably were talking in your sleep too, and that foot that Nestor rubbed against you was probably him kicking you. It's like,
Probably.
wake up.
Yeah, probably. Because I fell asleep facing the wrong way, like with my head down at the other end, because we were
Oh
watching a
yeah.
show. Yeah, we had been watching, we started watching Yu Yu Hakusho, the live
Oh
action.
yeah. Yeah.
It it is good. And I was tired. Tired.
That reminds me, not the show, but you guys watching stuff.
Yeah.
You watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, right?
Yeah, Andre Bauer.
Yeah.
It's so
Turns out it
sad.
was lung cancer.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it's rough.
He just didn't tell anybody. He just, you
It's
know,
fucking rough, man.
yeah. But yeah. So clone Nesto, huh? It's
Yeah, man. That was wild. Damn.
it's, I'm gonna I'm gonna come up with something and call it Operation Clone Nesto.
Well, yeah, that dream was called Nesto Chat Clone.
Did you tell him about it yet?
Yeah, I did.
What did he say?
He was just laughing. Actually, he said, the first thing he said, he was like, you never dreamt of me being a clone before.
What?
That's what he said. Like you,
Oh, well.
like you never fantasized about me, you know, being two of me.
Oh, yeah. Goopy. There's another thing I was going to ask you about that. It's one of those things like when the Nesto in your dream said, "You're dreaming again, aren't you?"
Yeah, man.
That was the perfect moment for you to be like, "What time is it?" Or say
Yeah.
something like that to him. See what would have
Yep.
happened.
I was just busy freaking out.
Oh man,
I was too busy, scared out of my wits.
I can imagine. One of Nesto is creepy enough. All right, well, uh, my next two dreams, they're the last two that I have written down here, very
Okay.
short. So the first one is I was in college, and which I don't know why I keep having dreams where I'm in school again, but I really need to stop. Um, but I was in college, and the professor had three things due the next day. He was telling everybody in the class, okay, well, remember this is due, and this is due, and this is due. And I'm sitting there freaking out because I'm like, I guess I just missed these assignments, you know?
Yeah.
And I was upset, but then I started thinking, you know what? I guess it's my fault. I guess I haven't. I guess I just missed it, or I just haven't been working on any of it, and I guess it's my fault. And then I woke up.
Oh shit.
So it was the acceptance of it's my fault, and then I woke up. It's just boom.
Damn.
I realized I
I
can't
hate
blame
those
anybody
dreams.
else, just me.
This is all on me. Damn.
And I'll go ahead with my last dream here. So
Okay.
this was a weird dream. So I found a sick baby bird, and I was trying to
Oh.
feed it, and it kept throwing things back up. And then finally, after about
Oh.
five times, it finished eating the thing that I was giving it. and then it came and
Yeah.
nuzzled underneath my chin, and then I woke up.
Pleasant.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I was worried at first because I was like, "Oh, this poor little bird's gonna die."
But then the
And
nuzzling.
yeah, I just kept forcing it to eat, and then finally it was like, "Okay."
Good night.
Yep.
It's cute. Okay, so a couple of pleasant dreams for you this week, huh?
Yeah, not too bad. Nothing, nothing crazy in sci-fi or anything like that. Nothing off the wall.
All right. So I think the last dream I talked to you about was selling Michael Jackson's sarcophagus.
Uh, yeah. Well, you had two Michael Jackson dreams, so
Yeah. Okay, so I want to talk to you about the one I titled Demon Possessing Houseplant.
okay. Yeah, we didn't talk about this for sure.
Okay, well, it was such a weird dream. Okay, I dreamt I think I was a teenager again, and I was living in a house that I don't really recognize, but it had a white kitchen, kind of like my old house, a white walled kitchen. And
Mhm.
there was a window that led to the backyard in the kitchen. And there was an arcade game that was right next to the window.
Yeah.
And I remember playing it, and I remember having brothers and sisters, like a brother and a sister, who were littler than me, playing the game. So they were playing an arcade game, and I was kind of watching them play the game, and I had a view of the backyard as well from where I was standing. I could see the game they were playing, and I could see outside the window. And all of a sudden, I remember being outside in the backyard instead of inside watching my brothers and sister play a game. And I was talking to my mom in the dream. I don't recognize her in real life. I don't even remember her features. So it was a dream mom, not my real mom.
Oh, okay.
And she was talking about getting a demon, trapping a demon. And so it turned into like I was kind of watching a movie from the demon's point of view. So it was like I was watching the actions of this demon,
Hmm.
and he was in our backyard, and he he was about to be trapped into a houseplant. So there was some kind of like ritual or something going on that was going to trap him into a houseplant. He was like, "Oh damn, I hate when this happens." And then I could just see him like floating up into the air through his eyeballs. He floated up into the air, and then it zoomed into a houseplant. He dived into it almost, and, and he was a houseplant. And time sped up from then on. I was still looking at it from the point of view of the houseplant demon, and I could see his little leaves wither over the seasons. But he would also be pruned and taken care of, so he was watered occasionally, and I could see the seasons change, and I could hear, or at least I could feel that the demon did not like this.
Well, yeah. I
Yeah,
don't think I'd like being in a house plant either.
yeah. That's all I remember of that dream.
The best part of that was the demon going, "Oh, I hate when this happens." Like it's happened before. Like how many times is he being trapped in a plant, and how does he not have the wherewithal to stop it from happening.
Oh no. Eh,
Damn. The seventh time I've been a houseplant. Oh man.
I don't know where any of that came from. None of it.
I have no idea either. Some demon possessing your shit just being like, hey, hey, I don't like being a houseplant.
Can you imagine an angry plant? Ah,
Yeah, actually. I've seen Little Shop of Horrors.
only this one wasn't man eating. It was just like a regular ass fern or something.
Which makes it better, right? He's just like, get over here. I'll cut you with my leaves.
Ah, Shit. And that was that one.
So dumb.
Yeah, man. Ugh, I had to blow my nose.
I figured. I saw that you were muted for quite a while there.
Uh, that reminds me. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday morning, I had to blow my nose in the car with Alice, and we were about to
Mhm.
go into the high school. I was parked, and I blew my nose, and she. It was just a long period of me going, and Alice just looked at me, and I looked back, and then we both started laughing, and then I was like, "Shut up, laughing at me." And then when I was done, I was like, "Alice, Alice, picture gujitsu." So, do you know what gujitsu are? They're these toys that are pretty hefty that the boys have. They're like little action figure toys, only their torsos and their arms are stretchable. Kind of like, ugh, there's like a stretchy arm toy.
Me and Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah, stretch Armstrong. Like those. Like you can stretch him out and then he'll slowly, go back to its original form,
Right.
right? So I told
Mm-hmm.
Alice, and picture gujitsu. You know how it like stretches real slow and then it's really slow, like getting back but it's also gooey and thick. And I was like, and she's like, yeah, I mean, I know what you're talking about. Well, why are you telling me this? And I was like, no, that's what's in this tissue right now. she said, she said, can you stop? It made my morning.
Yeah, that would be funny to watch.
Okay.
All right.
Anyways, so I think I'll talk about boiled egg accident. It was an eventless dream, but it was short, so I guess I'll say it.
Okay.
So in this dream, I dreamt I was part of uh, a church organization of some sort, and somebody was boiling eggs, and they put them at the top of the cabinets inside. And I was talking to some people that I don't recognize in real life, and they're like, "Did you get the boiled eggs?" And I said, "Oh no, I didn't." And then I saw somebody else get the boiled eggs from the top of the cabinet, and she was going to walk downstairs with them, and then she tripped and fell. And then there were eggs breaking everywhere. And that's all I remember of that dream.
So it was a short one. Okay.
Just boiled eggs falling. The next one, Duncanville Road repair. That one
Mm-hmm.
was interesting. I didn't talk about that one last week?
Nope.
Okay, so it starts out with me and Ernesto, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We were helping the town of Duncanville repair some roads that had gotten damaged. Okay, but the
I mean,
roads,
yeah, it makes perfect sense that
no,
they would
no,
be
no,
like,
no,
you know
no.
what, you guys are civilians that live here. You should
Yeah,
totally help repair this road.
for sure. It was a community effort for some reason. It was nice, but okay, the roads were not regular roads. They were rope bridges.
Oh, okay.
They were rope bridges for cars. And so I remember the ropes, they kind of look like, what are those things called? They kind of look like straps that people use to, strap things to the top of their cars.
Okay. Wait, you mean like ratchet straps?
Yeah, like those.
Actually,
I think so. Okay,
okay.
now I need to Google it.
Were they flat like a seat belt?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
okay. So we were using those kinds of ropes, but they were like knitted together in such a way to make a bridge, a car width. And also, what was really sketchy about these rope bridges was that there was no middle to the rope bridge. So it was knitted in such a way just to allow for uh, the tires to touch it on the outsides,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and that was it. There was the whole middle was blank,
Open. Yeah.
open space. And I don't know why we needed these bridges because it was literally like 3 feet off of the regular ground. It went from one tunnel that happened to be like 3 feet off the ground to another tunnel that happened to be like 3 feet off the ground. So really, we just needed some ramps, but whatever. So we're making these rope bridges. A weird detail I remember is that they're all white. The bridges, all white. And we finally connected one end to the other end. We knitted it and belted it together to connect the tunnels, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now everybody was able to go in and out of Duncanville. But first,
Oh, okay.
we needed a tester. And who better to test it than me and Ernesto? So we were going to Christian the testing with a car of our own. Guess what kind of car we had?
A tank.
No. I actually have no clue what it is, but picture the Batmobile. The Batmobile.
Okay.
Only it was purple. And
Wait,
also,
which Batmobile though?
I don't know. I'm not versed enough in DC to. Now I need to look it up.
Well, I mean, like the Batmobile from Dark Knight is very different from the Batmobile from like Batman Begins, or not Batman Begins, Batman Returns.
Uh, okay, I looked it up. Batmobile. It's the
Mm-hmm.
first one that pops up on the left. Not the smooth looking one and not the tank looking one. So it looked exactly like that, only it was purple. And also, there was no space uh, for anything but two passengers, and we had to squeeze in, like from the top. So there were two openings on the top, kind of like what are those boats called? A kayak.
Okay.
That's how tight the fitting was. Ernesto was already in it, and I was like, how the fuck did you get in there? Because I was thinking, I'm not going to fit. This isn't happening. I'm just going to not have to buckle or something. So I decided to just like try and squeeze in without buckling. I'm like, I'm not going to worry about buckling myself up, I guess. And so I squeezed in, and everybody was like, yay, let's go. And then he drove over the rope bridges with no adverse effects. So it drove perfectly fine over these sketchy ass bridges. We went from one tunnel to the next tunnel, and through the tunnel, I could see a circus tent.
Oh.
Yeah, through the tunnel, I saw a circus tent. It was a circus set up past the tunnel, and I was like, "Ooh, I want to stop there." And Ernesto started veering off to the right so he could pull over and get in so we can go to the circus, and that's all I remember of that dream.
Damn. I was kind of looking forward to the circus.
Yeah, so was I. In dream and when I woke up. I was like, well, damn. I want to see what was inside.
Woke up and smacked Nesto. Why didn't you take me to the circus?
What are you talking about? In the Batmobile! Over the bridges!
She'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was a weird dream. But it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it.
You tripping.
I know. My dreams have been all over the place lately.
They
All
have been.
over. Because the next one is titled Himalayan Snow Death.
Yeah, I know.
I have no idea where this came from either. Like, I haven't been around snow since what? The last time it snowed.
Last February, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that was fucking weird.
I mean, we've gotten snow every February since that big ice storm that we had that knocked everything out.
Oh, yeah. February's weird. Are
Yeah.
you ready for Himalayan Snow Death?
I mean, I'm not, but I am sure.
Alright, so in this dream, I dreamt I went on vacation with Ernesto.
Yeah, to the Himalayas.
Yeah, not to Hawaii this time, to the Himalayas.
Finally, for a change.
But what was weird is that it didn't look like Himalaya, at least from what I've seen in photos or whatever. It looked more like the North Pole or the South Pole, wherever is covered in snow, like just all over the place, everywhere.
Well, isn't Mount Everest in the Himalayas?
Possibly.
Boy, we're great with geography.
Yeah,
Because I mean, if it is, then that explains the snow.
I guess. So I jumped around like a little. It was in a. It was in a town that was that from that town we could see across a ways, across a bunch of snow, to a tiny little cozy town village. And from where we were standing in this other town, I was talking to Nestor and I was like, look at that little village over there. It looks so quaint and cozy. It looks so cute. And I was like, I want to go over there. Let's go vacation over there. And so we started trekking our way over there on horses.
On horses?
On horses. In the deep snow. Wasn't
Okay, I
that a
have
good
to ask
idea?
one question.
Yeah.
Do you know how to ride a horse?
No. I have ridden
Have you
horses.
ever once ridden? Oh, you have. Okay.
Yeah. I have ridden horses. But no, I'm no expert and it's been years.
I
So
also looked it up, and the Himalayas is where Mount Everest is.
uh-huh. Okay. Go geography.
Yay.
So we were crossing this expanse of snow on horseback. And as we were pulling up to this tiny little town, for some reason, well, we were all of a sudden part of a bigger party who was also traveling to the town. And the party said, we have to go along the mountainside um, to get there, and we have to go fast because snow was falling, not from the sky. Well, it was also falling from the sky, but snow was falling from the mountainside, like it were like picture a
Oh.
waterfall.
Yeah.
It was essentially an avalanche, but it looked like a waterfall of snow. It was just continuous and it kept going. And we had to go like underneath the snowfall, the waterfall of snow. We had to
Okay.
go and we had to go quickly because they told us if we stood still for too long, like a second too long, then we would be buried in snow and we wouldn't be able to crawl back out. So I don't know where the horses went at this point. So fuck the horses. We were walking and we had to run, essentially. We could not stop running unless we wanted to be buried to death by snow. And
Damn.
so we started running, and other people were making it, and they were making it ahead of me, and then I had to stop because I was running out of breath. In my dream, I was running out of breath, Dustin. I was having trouble breathing, and then as I was stopping, I was getting covered by snow, and then uh, they said, "Hurry up and dig yourself out of there, or you're gonna die." So I was like struggling to dig myself out. Okay, this is not the picturesque vacation that I had intended for myself, but whatever. And so I kept getting covered up by snow because I was too slow and I couldn't breathe. Like I just remember crawling myself out of snow several times in the dream. And then I woke up and guess what the fuck was happening?
You were being covered by blankets.
Not blankets. Nissa's big ass leg was crossing my chest. So I really couldn't breathe. Motherfucker had
That's
me
funny.
dreaming about getting smothered by snow on vacation.
What did he have to say for himself after you told him that one?
He was like, he just laughed.
Well, it is funny.
He was like, oh, that's funny shit. You couldn't breathe. He just laughed.
It's
You couldn't
funny.
breathe for real.
It's funny.
So that was wild. I don't know where that came from either.
And maybe it was cold in your room also, and that's why you thought it was snow.
Oh, yeah. It was cold in my room, too.
Well, see, there you go. I have a request.
Okay.
The next one that you tell me about has to be the SNL tour trap.
Okay. That's the one I was going to skip to because I only had one in between.
Yeah.
All right. So, SNL tour trap. It started off with me and my staff. I was part of a business, corporate business. Didn't work with teachers. I don't recognize anybody in real life, so on my team we're a bunch of business folk, and we were touring for a fun outing with our folk. We were touring the backstages of Saturday Night Live, and Dustin, I don't even watch that show. I don't watch it, so
I
I
don't
don't
know
know why
anybody
I
that does
was
anymore.
I don't know why I was dreaming of it, but anyways, so we're on a corporate field trip of sorts to the backstages of SNL. And I remember being escorted, me and my team were being escorted by one of the SNL hosts or actors. And so we're walking down the hallway backstage, right? And he was escorting
Mhm.
us from one host to the next host. They were like hosting us, just for us. And I turned to see who was, escorting us in the hallway as we were walking, and it was David Spade.
Oh,
I
how the
looked at him.
mighty have fallen.
I looked at David Spade, and then I looked down, and then I did a double take. I was like, David Spade? I mean, he was like, yeah. I mean, what's up? And then he started chatting with me. It was pleasant, and he walked us to the next area. And throughout this whole tour, they were giving us a backstage. There were cameras like set up in the corners of the ceiling
Mhm.
in every room and every hall. And I in my dream I knew that's where they recorded from for some reason.
Okay.
Like this is the actual cameras for SNL, and like we were being recorded live right now. So they were recording they were recording us getting the tour. And so me and David Spade were just chatting it up, and I don't remember what the fuck we were saying, but I knew I was funny as hell. Why? Because there was a laugh track, Dustin. There was a laugh track playing. And
No.
apparently I was funny. And so we kept going, and he escorts us to this new area, a different room. Like it looked like the inside of a kitchen, and it was like the set of a kitchen, and there were cameras set up in there too. And our new tour guide was somebody else, one of the other actors. Guess who it was?
Adam Sandler.
No. This one doesn't make sense because it's Peter Griffin.
It's not even real.
I know. It was Peter Griffin. And I said, Peter Griffin? And he was like, yeah. Hey, what's up? He just started chatting.
Yeah.
And I remember being funny as fuck with him too. So I remember a bunch of people laughing and also the laugh track. And then he escorted us to a new area in backstages. And this
I'm sorry,
area seemed
everybody
like
laughing should have been your first clue that it was a dream.
fuck off. But yeah, he escorted us to a new spot. This spot looked like an outdoor set, and there were lawn
Hmm.
chairs, and there was fake like turf grass set up. And we walked past that towards a game show area, and it was part of the set that seemed like it wasn't being used or hadn't been used for some time because there were no cameras on or anything. And so I remember us walking. I remember the people walking us into this room. Okay, and me and my team were all looking around, and we are like, huh, this must be an older part of the set. I guess they haven't used this much, that much, um, you know, recently. And then we started exploring, and we found an area with a real bed, a real sink, a real toilet, and some counters for storage with a fruit basket on top.
Okay.
And it seemed like a break room, but somebody had set it up to be like a prison cell for some reason.
Oh. Oh, okay.
And so we all turned around, and the door was shut behind us, and we were locked in. We could not get out. So it was me and my business partners all trapped in the back stage bowels of Saturday Night Live, and locked in. And we were like, oh fuck, we can't escape. And then after trying to escape for some time, trying to open the door, break down the door, we decided, well, we don't know how long we're going to be here. So we started to try and take, inventory of the things we could eat. And we started trying to set up places where we would, be sleeping. And there was this one lawn chair that one of my teammates decided to sleep on. And he was a younger guy. And the first night, we're all sleeping, trying to get to sleep. And then he wakes up screaming, and he wakes us all up. And he's just freaking out on the lawn chair. And nothing we could do would shut him up from screaming until one of my other business partners walked up to him. And uh, she was a younger young woman. I think she was shushing him. And also, she crawled on top of him and laid down. And then that calmed him down.
Okay.
Like she was a cat or something.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And we're like, huh. I'm glad that's over with because that was fucking annoying. This guy screaming. And that's all I remember of that dream.
I want a resolution.
No.
Ah,
Never a resolution.
oh, man.
I don't know why.
I,
David Spade. David Spade.
well,
David
I mean,
Spade?
I think about that and I'm like, man, since Chris Farley died, he's really having trouble getting work, huh?
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
Peter Griffin, like, was it? So, my question on Peter Griffin is, was it a cartoon version of Peter Griffin or was it a live action version of Peter
Live
Griffin?
action.
Oh, so
Live
a
action.
realistic looking,
Yep.
and he
Peter
was just
Griffin.
like, shut up, Meg.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Uh,
I don't know what I have against SNL to dream that they would trap me.
I feel like they've trapped all of their audience, right? Because nobody really likes that show, and yet
Really?
somehow it's still on the air.
I know several people who like that show,
I
but I
don't.
guess not many. Not.
Yeah, I talk to a lot of people that are like, oh, I can't stand Pete Davidson, and yet somehow Pete Davidson keeps getting work. So,
Oh, and the more recent ones.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I haven't watched Saturday Night Live since like, the '90s, really.
I never really watched it at all. I've seen a few, but
Back when it was Adam Sandler and Chris Farley, Kevin Nealon, all the good ones. That's when David Spade was on also.
you know what I watched more of when I was younger was Mad TV.
I watched Mad TV also
I watched that way more.
because Miss Swan, that was.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Miss Swan.
He look, he, he look, he look like a man. So funny. Okay, I tell you everything. Okay, yeah.
And
And then um, the the guy that was like supposed to be the little boy, it was just
look what
like,
I can do.
yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
It was it was so annoying, but
Yeah, it
for
was.
some reason I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah. It was pretty funny.
Well, uh, I think I guess we're done with dreams. Time to move on to recommendations.
Alrighty, recommendations. Recommendations.
Recommendations?
Recommendations.
Do you have any recommendations currently?
Do you
Picking.
have an exit buddy?
Please grab your exit buddy.
Well, I think I know what I'm gonna do.
Do you?
I do. Do you? How do?
Mm-mm. I don't believe you.
Yep.
What is your thing?
Okay. I'm gonna recommend a series. It's a comedy series, and it follows a detective.
Okay.
His name, I'm waiting for you to guess it.
Sherlock Holmes?
Jake Peralta.
Oh, you're gonna recommend Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Okay.
Yeah. So, it follows a detective, who's like mostly a carefree cop guy, very funny, and it's kind of like it's almost like The Office, only not set up like it's a documentary being recorded. But it has those comedic vibes with also like a nice feel good um underlying character development of sorts.
Yeah.
So it follows him in the 99 Brooklyn's 99th precinct, and Some standout characters are his newer captain, Captain Ray Holt, who is played by Andre Bauer. R.I.P. He's just passed. And it is one of the funniest shows I've watched.
Not to mention that Andre Brower's character constantly straight faced the whole time. No matter what was happening or what he was saying or what was going on around him, just stone faced.
Yeah, he had that talent. It just made it so much funnier.
Yeah.
So I loved the character that he played. It was hilarious. Um,
I I especially loved when he would say things like, I'm absolutely giddy. And just like be so serious.
and can't you tell?
Yeah.
It was hilarious. Some other standout characters are Charles Boyle, his detective friend. Rosa Diaz, another detective friend. Amy Santiago, another detective friend. I don't want to say too much without spoiling things, but yeah, it follows along with their stories a little bit too, and they all, just friends.
Yes. And then there's a cast of incredible characters in the background as well.
Yeah. Terry
Scully and
Crews.
Hitchcock.
Yeah. Joe Truglio. Say Kyra Sedgwick. Jason Mantzoukas. Man, he's a wild character.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Craig Robinson appears every now and again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they got a lot of um good folk in the cast. So if you're into comedies, feel good comedies, heartwarming comedies, then definitely give Brooklyn Nine-Nine a look-see. Check it out.
All right. And where can you watch it?
Oh, great question. Oh, it says Peacock. Where to watch?
Oh, that's right. They may have moved it over to Peacock now.
Yep, check it out on Peacock.
So, uh, in keeping with that same thing, since you mentioned The Office, uh, I don't think I know we've talked about the show, but I don't think we've ever recommended it. But What We Do in
Yeah,
the Shadows? Have we recommended What We Do in the Shadows?
I don't think so.
So What We Do in the Shadows.
Okay.
It's a very office style. It is documentary style, but it follows the lives of four vampires living in a house. Three that are normal that you would think of like blood sucking vampires, and one that is an energy vampire. Uh, and I mean, the only person or the only two people going in that I knew who the energy vampire was, because of his work on The Office, and then the other one of the main vampires, Laszlo, played by Matt Berry, and that's just because he's been in a lot of other British comedies that I like. Um,
He's hilarious.
but it's these four vampires and their or one of their familiars that lives in the house with them to like take care of them, and all the crazy hijinks that they get up to living in Staten Island.
Mm-hmm.
And I really can't say much more than that, um, because there's just so much. There's so
Yeah.
much ridiculousness to that show. But yeah, if you like the documentary style thing, like a uh, Office or uh, what is it, Parks and Rec,
Yep.
then this is right up your alley.
Mm-hmm.
So check it out.
Check it out. Yeah,
All
we did
right.
it.
Well, yeah, we did it. We did it.
Yay. Hit us with the outro,
Yay.
Dustin.
Thank you, little dreamers, for listening.
Little Dreamers is our $5 Patreon subscription tier.
Listen to us on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts until 2024,
Thanks for that, Google.
Sirius, Pandora, and YouTube, with YouTube Music and Apple Podcasts coming soon.
You can find us on our socials at TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, anywhere else that you think of social media.
Also, email us your dreams at whatmdreams@gmail.com so that we can hear from some of
what you have dreamt about. And, we might judge you harshly. I don't know. We'll see.
We will, but also it'll be fun, so it's cool. Thank you again for listening. Bye.
Bye. Forever.
No, never.
Dun, dun, dun. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. That was a new one I tried.